When it comes to delusions, some people have taken it a step further than others and become extremely successful while convincing millions of people their beliefs are real. They are masters at selling the most intangible thing there is: imagination. Such an astounding success warrants them a special place in history: the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame at the Museum of Delusional Thinking is full of players who, in the past and present, have offered you their twisted version of reality. L. Ron Hubbard, the founder of Scientology, claimed to be a nuclear physicist from George Washington University and Princeton University, that he served 4 years in combat during the Second World War and was seriously wounded, but self-healed using own theories on the science of the mind. However, according to this sworn affidavit by his son, Ronald DeWolf, he did none. In it, Ronald says about his father, quote, "He is a fraud, and has always been a fraud." End quote.
From the heartland of America to every nation on earth, this is Jack Van Impe Presents The Truth.
Jack Van Impe wants to convince you the end of the world is coming on the 21st of December 2012. He is but one of countless doomsday prophets who have been tricking the gullible and credulous over the last 4,800 years. The list you see scrolling contains some 430 doomsday prophecies for the period. What do all these prophecies have in common? First, they were all utterly incorrect. Second, they all display blatant disregard for reality. Third, they are all founded on wishful and delusional interpretation of superstitious writing, which is a recipe for blunder. Does it seem implausible to prophesize that all future predictions based on the same recipe will fail as well? It has to be said that the steady source of dupes who are drawn towards these wannabe prophets is disconcerting. These are the distractions of very childish grown-ups indeed. If you believe the end is near, well, I have news for you. It is not. I wonder about Jack's possible responses when December 21st, 2012 comes and goes without an incident. Admission of own absolute failure surely won't be among them. He certainly didn't for his failed September 99 and October 99 predictions. Then there is Pat Robertson, whose list of failed prophecies is so long it would warrant a series of documentaries. Pat is so wrong that he is brimming with wrongness. In 1980, he predicted the Soviet Union would invade the Middle East. In 1981, he predicted a global economic collapse. In 2004, he claimed George W. Bush would easily win the election in a blowout. Here, just watch the depth of analysis performed by him and his fellow pretend expert, the late Jerry Falwell. I can only wonder how many hours of in-depth analyses went into this work of theirs. How many experts on terrorism and international affairs did they consult? How many peer-reviewed papers did they publish in support of it? Just listen to the two explore the reasons for the 9/11 attacks on the United States of America.
The abortionists have got to bear some burden for this because God will not be mocked, and when we destroy 40 million little innocent babies, we make God mad. I really believe that the pagans and the abortionists and the feminists and the gays and the lesbians who are actively trying to make that an alternative lifestyle, the ACLU, People for the American Way, all of them who tried to secularize America, I point the finger in their face and say, you helped this happen.
Well, I totally concur.
This sort of analytic expertise goes to show the younger generation that gray hair on one's head is no guarantee against moronic and delusional conclusions. Then there is the religious cult leader Jim Jones, whose legacy will always be that of a delusional mass murderer. And we have Kent, the convict Hovind, who, equipped with a high school diploma and a PhD from a diploma mill, has been deluding people into believing the universe is mere 6,000 years old, and that dinosaurs and people lived together. Kent is now completing a 10-year prison term after he failed to delude the IRS about his taxable income. He will be released in August 2015. Then there is the homophobic Reverend Fred Phelps, who is on a different and wicked level of delusion altogether. Reverend Phelps, I claim, suffers from a serious mental illness that would leave him in a mental institution in any other developed country. We have other delusional players such as the late Oral Roberts, David Koresh, Benny Hinn, Deepak Chopra, doomsday fanatic John Hagee and Kenneth Copeland, Joyce Meyer, and the suicidal Marshall Applewhite, and the list goes on. The Museum of Delusional Thinking envisions busy times ahead, expanding its collection of all the fantasy players that abound.